thank you very much for having me here, and especially thank you, Hypothesis team, for making this conference here in Berlin, so I do not have to fly over the pond, which was nice. So yeah, I'm going to talk about my project WorldBrain, verifying the internet with science. The internet collects our collective consciousness. The internet collects our collective consciousness and facilitates the immediate sharing of information and opinions, and on almost unlimited access to cat pics, I would say. This access and speed to information is maybe fun and good, yet it also promotes the rapid spread of misinformation online. Even the World Economic Forum recognizes it as one of the most impactful problems our society has today. I'm Oliver Sauter, the founder of this project, and today I'm going to tell you how we plan to take another step on this problem. Our goal is to develop a browser plugin that lets you see how trustworthy a news article is based on how well it represents scientifically verifiable facts. As you can imagine, building the plugin itself is not the real issue, because there's not one article to verify, there are tens of thousands for a given topic. So our goal is to develop a process that allows us to verify most articles for a given topic, like climate change or agriculture, GMOs, and then replicate that with others. So how do we get there? The first step is a personal bookmarking tool for science communicators, like scientists, skeptics, and science writers, like bloggers and journalists. It aims to be neatly integrated into their workflows, so they want to actually use it for themselves on a daily basis. It allows not only to bookmark, but also to annotate, organize, share, and discuss web content with their community and the public. We developed this tool on the basis of Hypothesis, which I guess all of you know, otherwise you probably wouldn't be here. However, the main purpose of this bookmarking tool is actually to cultivate a community of scientifically literate individuals that communicate science on a daily basis. I believe the user group we want to develop for, science communicators, is a complementary fit for the other two groups Hypothesis is currently striving at. And it also contributes to the efforts of making all knowledge annotatable, at least in the scientific and educational field. With the collaboration with Climate Feedback, Hypothesis went already in that direction. With our bookmarking service, we want to expand on that, or on these efforts. So, the community is actually then the necessary step for the second step, or necessary foundation for the second step, the argument detection algorithm. For a little context, let's have a look on how web verification is done at the moment. Groups like Climate Feedback have to go over every article separately they want to verify. This is clearly not scalable if we talk about the masses of content that are actually out there. But many articles essentially use the same arguments but express them differently. So it might not be necessary to annotate and comment on each one of them separately, but find the most common ones and only verify once. So what we do in this step is to use our users' annotations to ultimately train algorithms to detect various arguments in web content. The necessary datasets, let me show that video. So the necessary datasets are generated by letting users annotate statements and summarize them in which they recognize well-known arguments. And our users will be pretty good at that because they have been communicating science in their respective fields for a long time. So they know the debate and they know the most common arguments. If we now apply those algorithms on a large amount of web content, it allows us creating a list of the most communicated arguments and their possible locations on the internet. So for example, in different statements. This will of course be a very hard process, and it also will be a hybrid process of suggestions made by the algorithm, as well as then the manual approval for and by people looking over the articles for the first and second and third time. Yeah, and the hard part will be especially because it will not be crystal clear every time if there's an argument hidden into in a statement, or it is a misleading argument which is actually a factually correct argument, but represented somehow out of context. So if we have now this data set of the locations and this hit list of the most communicated claims, we can go for the last step, the actual verification of the arguments. Here, our community of science communicators writes crowdsourced summaries with state-of-the-art scientific findings to verify an argument. We might not come up with quantifiable evaluation every time. The goal here is rather to centralize the debate around those claims, which is normally held, or these debates are normally held on 1,000 bubbles all over the internet. And if we have centralized the debate, we can explore from there how we actually can quantify the results. If we have these summaries, we then can link them back to the exact locations within online resources where we originally found them. The cool thing here is we actually do not have to verify every claim in an article in order to give a credible judgment about its trustworthiness. We just have to verify enough so that people steer away from bad content. And as before mentioned by climate feedback, this will then, for the first time, or now the second first time, impose a monetary incentive on quality in online journalism. Because if the quality is missing, then clicks will go and then the revenue will go. So an organic shift to better quality can happen, or is at least possible. So what's next? The bookmarking tool, as told, is built on Hypothesis, which is a fundamental software for us and for many other projects in the future. But as Marianne before was talking about, like the Knowledge Coalition, there is still some work to do in order to make Hypothesis that fully replicatable, reusable, and interoperable software foundation. And that's why we, as the WorldBrain team, want to contribute as much as possible to the actual development of this goal. Currently, we're figuring out with Hypothesis how we can integrate our contributions in the most efficient way. So who are we actually? We're a group of 20 developers and 50 science communication thought leaders with around 100,000 to 150,000 skeptics and other science communicators in their direct outreach. And we're located in 19 countries around the globe. So what are future challenges? And as you can imagine, there is quite a lot. And you can find these on our website as well, so if you want to look into them. If you want to talk with me about them, hit me up after the talk. I don't bite, and if I do, I'm fully vaccinated, so no problem. All right, cool. Here you can contact us on our social and web channels. Thank you for having me here.